Hey, okay, that works. So that will, and that means that this string is only present under this function, and it will not go back to the main function. So that well, don't worry about that. The variable will die as soon as the function completes, is basically what I'm trying to say. So what we want to do, oops, I forgot my semicolon. Never forget your semicolons. Oops, that's not it. There we go. Now what we want to do is give my file, the output file stream, a location to output to. So we're going to do myfile.open. Now, a word of warning, if you used a file that already has stuff in it, as soon as you start writing to another file, or to that file with more information, it will delete everything that's in it already, so be warned. So this is the URL that I gave earlier that we're going to use to output to. And now we can use that file the same way we send information to cout or cin. We're going to send information to that file, and this becomes really easy because our last function put all the information we needed into these variables like title and description and all that stuff. So all we have to do is tell it to put in title, and we're sending the same arguments to generate file. So we're going to put the title and then a space and then the type of video, so a narrated walkthrough, narrated playthrough, what have you. And then this end L is end line, and that just adds a return type, so it will add a space between it. So let me open up Notepad. If this is the title, it'll put a space and another space in between that and description, so it's easier to read and copy and paste. And then my file, I'm going to send it the description. Notice that the two carets point to wherever the information is going. So we're sending the description and the end line into the my file. And then here's a tricky part. If is suggested, so if it's a suggested video, that's why we changed the boolean earlier. Now this also you could put equal to true. It's probably better. It makes it more easier to read if you do that, so we'll do that. If it is suggested, my file will enter that line suggested by, and then the suggestor, and then a period, and then end line, end line. Now if there is no suggestor, if the user left that blank, it will not evaluate. This will be false, and it will not do that. And so the last thing we need to do is put the game link in there. Oh wait, I need to put game link colon and then the game link. Oops. And end line, end line. And then the copyright statement. So we put that in a variable called copyright, so we just have to write that. Now the tags, we need to put commas in between them. So what we're going to do is put tags, if tags.size is greater than 0. So what that function does, it's a built-in function in the vector class. It'll get the size of however many objects are in that vector. So if there are no tags, then we don't want, if you don't put the statement, then the program will crash because it will try to access something that's not there. So if there are no tags, we want it to ignore this. But if there are greater than 0 tags, then we're going to do a bracket for int I equals 0. So what a for statement does is for, we're going to establish a variable called I, which is equal to 0. And then while I is less than tags dot size minus 1, the reason we're doing minus 1, well, I'll explain it in a second. So while I is less than the tags size minus 1, we'll increase I. That plus plus means increase. And then that loop will continue. So we're going to send that tags I, well, I'll explain that in a second too. So plus a comma. And so what's going on here, let me open up Notepad again, is so we had a vector of tags, so like horror, game, narrated, walkthrough. Oops, sorry. It should be on different lines. So this horror has an index of 0. The I stands for index, by the way, or increment, or what do you call it? There's a word for it, but we'll use index. So these have the value of 0 in the vector. The game has the value of 1. So tags I will give you, if I is 0, it'll give you the word horror. If it's 1, it'll give you game. If it's 2, it'll give you narrated. And so say this is the size of our vector is 4, then for as long as I is less than 4, it will do this. Now for the last one, the reason we did size minus 1 is because for the last one, we're going to access the last one, so tag size minus 1. We want to put a couple spaces in between. So when we get done with this is what it's going to look like. So for this loop right here, it's going to write horror, game, narrated, and then it's going to stop because I will be equal to tag size minus 1. And when it is equal to tag size minus 1, we want to put that last one in. So, and we don't want to add a comma. That's also another reason why we didn't include it in here. So that will be walkthrough. And then it will put 2 lines there for us, and that'll be it. That is why we separated the last tag from the others. So all that's left to do now is my file.close. You always want to close the file. Never forget that statement, or else you might erase the file or cause an error or who knows what. And we are done. So we're going to save all this. As far as the coding goes, we'll see if I made it through without any bugs. So what I'm going to do is debug it. You press this up here. It'll build it for you. Yes, build it. I'll start down here. You can see it working it out. And we do have some errors. Let's see here. Looks like we missed. Oh, I forgot my parentheses right here. It's always the little things that'll get you. And there's something else. Is that the only one? Okay, I think that's it besides the warning. Unless I'm looking at... Let me try building it again and see if it comes up with another error. Alright, so it looks like we're good. So here's the console. It's going to ask us the title of the video. So let's just do one for this. So this is a programming tutorial for YouTube. And then what type of walkthrough or video is it? Now this I would say is a walkthrough. It's not blind and it's not a playthrough, so I'll put W. Description, this is a video to show you how to program a description generator. Period. Enter that. Oh, I missed the S. Let me fix that real fast while I'm thinking about it. Suggested by, thank you. We'll say this was just by Phantom Darkness 1 through 5. And the game link, if this was a game, I'd put http www. whatever. And you can also right click this, edit and paste if you have a URL on your clipboard, board.com. And then, oh, we have an error because it skipped the tags there. So let's go back and see what's going on with the tags. Let me look here. If tag size is greater than 0, oh, I guess it would have to happen up here. Oh, I think I know why, because we forgot to actually get line for the tag. So we need to get line from input and put it into the tag variable. That should do it. No wonder. Jeez, come on. So let's try that again. So we'll just do test. It's white this time because I accidentally clicked clean build instead, in case you're wondering. This is a test. It's by Phantom Darkness 1 through 5. www.board.com, and now we can put our tags in. So horror, you don't have to put the commas in because we're just lazy like that. We just have to put a space in between them. And I don't know why I wrote time. Horror game walkthrough. Why not time? And then it will say that's what the system pause statement up in the menu does. It puts that little note there. Press any key to continue. And when we do, I'm going to press enter. Oh, I'm sorry. When you actually do a debug, it'll actually give you that message again as the programmer. So when we do that, it should have brought up our, oh, I messed this up. This should be generated file. Sorry guys, one more time, we'll get it right. Test W, this is a test. Suggested by Phantom Darkness 135, www.board.com. Horror game walkthrough, cool beans. So there we go. Now it brings us a nice formatted thing. So here's our title. You can, when you go to the upload screen on YouTube, you can just copy and paste this into your title. Here's your description. This is all in my description. And then put your tags in and you have yourself a video. Now, if you want to run this program outside of this, you want to change this to release and then build it. Build solution. And it will build it for you. And it will say successful. We're going to close out of Visual Studio. Oh, hi Audacity. Hi Lucy. And then we'll go to, I think I put it on my downloads. Did I? I think so. Configure YouTube subscription generator and release. If you go into the release folder, you'll find a exe file. We'll run that. So programming tutorial, and then we'll say it's a, we'll call it a blind walkthrough this time just to see if our program works right. And then this is where the description goes. If I could type it. Phantom Darkness. Oops. Tags, this is a tutorial. Enter, it'll tell us to press any key, bring it up, there it is. So as you can see, let's go back to our Visual Studio and I'll explain wrap up anything else we missed. Hopefully that's a lot clearer now that you see this. So when I said that this type variable, so what it does is it takes the title and the type and it puts it together into that one big title. Then it puts a suggestion there, the suggested by, if there is a suggester. If there's not a suggester, as we'll see here, if I just leave it blank like that, then that line won't even show up on the pad, so you don't even have to worry about it. And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. If you have any questions, if I missed anything, please leave a comment or a message. I will upload I put the link to Visual Studio in the description, and I'll also upload the source code so that if you have any problems, you can look directly at it. For those of you who suggested this, I thank you. I had a lot of fun doing this, and it gave me a good experience to try and teach coding, something we should all learn. And I hope this helps you with your channel. Whether you're a walkthrougher or just someone who does the same type of video where you have the same format of description every time, this helps me a lot when I have to go to the upload screen and I can just copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Short little program in C++, gives you a lot of experience programming with C++, and I hope it helped you out. Whew. I am Phantom Darkness 135. I need a drink of something. I thank you for joining me. I hope this helped you out in some way, and I will see you all next time. I am Phantom Darkness 135. I am out of here. See ya.